You want to invoice me and kiss me? Maybe he's too much of a mama's boy. Maybe he can play hero at mommy's house. Are you your girlfriend's captive prisoner? Then this morning came and hit the fan. She's not the one for you. She's too diva for you. Do you guys know what show I'm really obsessed with right now? It is on Netflix. It is called Better Late Than Single. Now, it's not just your average reality TV relationship drama type of show. There's more than meets the eye because every single contestant that steps on, they have one key trait that they share in common. They've never dated before. Now, it's kind of interesting, right? Because I feel like the level of bravery you have to go from zero dating experience to full on the world is watching public show type of dating reality TV, that's something to be admired. Now, I had so many high hopes. I'm only in episode like 2 right now, okay, guys? So no spoilers. But it's wholesome. It's not your typical, I'll just say it. Not every contestant looks like they're just there to claim fame and, call it a day. They look like they genuinely want that human connection. And I think when it comes to finding that human connection, it can be tricky. You go on dates, you hope to find the one, or at least someone that you have something in common with to kickstart a beautiful, fairy tale type of relationship. Okay, maybe not everyone, but that's my envision. So you generally, as you're dating someone, you're getting to know them, you want to put your best foot forward. Now, today's themed episode is this person boyfriend, girlfriend, relationship material? And if not, what exactly is going on here? We're jumping into a bunch of Reddit stories. I'm V and welcome to the channel. Now, you might hear a little bit from, voice behind the camera, who you guys have dubbed Mr. Deep Voice, aka my husband. So let's get into our first story. Our first story is from the subreddit, Am I the butt face? The amount of iterations I've seen of Am I the a-hole? Am I the jerk? Am I the devil? Am I the angel? I've seen a lot. This is my first time seeing Am I the butt face? But this story was actually sent in by you guys.
What
It
does that
says-
mean? Am I the butt face?
I think it's the same thing as Am I the a-hole?
Oh,
It's just, I guess the ones that don't make it to Am I the a-hole, some people have a separate subreddit for it. And it's called Am I the butt face?
thought that meant am I ugly or something?
Actually, I can see that. That one kind of makes sense here. Now, story reads, Am I the butt face for not letting my boyfriend be the hero while we were getting mugged at knife point? My boyfriend is a big hero fanatic and does everything in his power to be like one. It's really endearing and it's one of the many things I love about him because he wants to be the good he wishes to see in the world. But this mindset he has is why we're fighting right now. We've been quarantining at my apartment, he's not on the lease, and he suggested we go on a night walk since we've been getting stir crazy from being inside all day. So, a little bit of a note, the story is a few years old, but it is one of the considered stories best of Reddit. So I'm assuming this is during COVID times. He suggested we go on a night walk since we've been getting stir crazy from being inside all day. He figured that it will be better for social distancing to go out at night. I was hesitant because we live in a bad neighborhood, but he assured me he'd protect me. On our walk, we were cornered by a man with a knife that demanded our wallets. I remember John Mulaney's Street Smarts bit from Netflix show and was going to throw my wallet past the mugger so he could run away. But my boyfriend started arguing with him and was spouting off a bunch of stuff about justice and how the mugger, quote, wouldn't get away with this. It looked like he was getting ready to fight. I was taken back by this, and I guess the mugger was too because it gave me enough time to take the important stuff out of my wallet while he was distracted. I interrupted my boyfriend's monologue and said, Take it, just don't hurt us, and threw it behind the guy. When he turned, I grabbed my boyfriend's hand and we booked it back to the apartment. We got home safely and I was relieved that we were okay. But my boyfriend was fuming. He was pissed that I interrupted him from protecting me when he could have, in his words, clearly handled it himself. I told him he could have gotten himself killed. He said that he was obviously stronger than the mugger and would have won. I explained to him that the guy had a weapon and my boyfriend didn't, so the odds were stacked against him. Not only that, but I didn't want my boyfriend to get killed over a dang wallet. We argued for longer than necessary, so I shut it down and told him we could talk about it when our adrenaline wasn't so high, but I needed to file a police report while the event was fresh. He stomped off to a room while I called the cops. When I was off the phone, I went to lay with him, but he rolled away from me. The next day, he was still angry and had already told his friends and family about what had happened to us. I thought that they would be understanding about how I handled it, but they were mad at me for not letting him have his opportunity to be a hero. His mom even ridiculed me for emasculating him. I want to reopen the conversation so we can understand each other and move past it. But if he isn't receptive, I'm going to ask him to move back in with his mom. I want to understand where I went wrong, if I went wrong. But honestly, I feel like he's being childish and unreasonable. I just want to know, am I the butt face or is he? Okay. Okay. I'm concerned, OP, that perhaps your boyfriend has watched maybe one too many Marvel DC action movies. I know the new Superman movie's coming out. Is he perhaps inspired? I don't know. Kudos for his bravery. I guess it's a thought that counts. I don't know exactly why anyone's mad at you for this. I think you did exactly the best thing you could have done, right? All of those, I think all of the informational kind of the how to videos of how to get away from a mugger, how to safely flee a situation. They usually say the first one. Step one, run the heck away. Do not try to play hero. Don't try to, I don't know, Deadpool your way out of this. There is no heroic way to fight crime. This is not your, I guess this is not your time to be a vigilante, is what I'm saying. I think you were fully in the right. But you're telling me he's mad that you were interrupting him in his spiel of what? What was he going to do? Throw down with the mugger? Just go, all right, fists up, get into a stance and let's do this. Let's slug it out. Like, what is his dream scenario here? That he's going to heroically save you from the mugging and save your wallet and beat up the guy? It's just very unrealistic. Especially the man has a knife. From what I know and what I've heard from my friends who do kind of mixed martial arts and things like that, once the person has a knife and you are unarmed, the odds are just completely stacked against you. Good luck. I would say no, clearly you're fully in the right, but not only that, you're pretty smart for interrupting your boyfriend in his heroic delusion here and running away. I worry that this is a telltale sign that he's not mature enough for a relationship. I say that not because he likes heroes. There's nothing wrong with wanting, to be a hero in your life in some points. This was just the most inappropriate situation to do so. And the fact that he's stomping off as you file the police report and now complaining and running around telling friends and family and telling his mom, and his mom's now giving you grief over it. Maybe he's too much of a mama's boy. Maybe he can play hero at mommy's house. That's my thoughts on it. What do you think?
Hmm.
What do you mean,
Well, I guess I can see both sides of it, right? I can see one side as someone might be able to handle the situation, although I still argue, if someone has a weapon, especially a knife, yeah, I mean, odds are against you, I would say, because even if you're stronger, just one unlucky move by them, or if they get you in the right place, you're gonna be gone within like 30 seconds. So
He was ready to take on a whole knife unarmed.
yeah, in my opinion, over a wallet, that is definitely not worth
No,
not worth fighting for that. Uh, when you think about it, like, what do you really have in your wallet that you cannot replace? I
recover.
guess,
I guess
especially since the OP took out probably like the ID and whatever else. Then really, all there is probably just credit cards and maybe a little
yeah.
bit of cash.
It's like here. I wish we could see like a visual of this because I'm imagining boyfriend is just, hands in front of the girlfriend, in front of OP, going, this isn't right. This isn't just. You can't be doing this. Trying to give him the moral spiel of it or something. And girlfriend's just like, okay, well, I got
Yeah,
my wallet here. I got my ID. Okay, I'll just toss the wallet over there.
I think that is stupid because at this point, if someone is robbing you, like, I don't know what the state of mind of that person is. It could be, for all you know, they're maybe under some influence and
Right?
right, and they're
You don't know what
just
they're
trying
gonna
to
do.
get quick cash or something like that. Then they might do anything. So OP mentioned that they were cornered. So that to me is kind of
Concerning, yeah.
Right. I don't know what the situation looked like, but to me, it seems that there was a way out. That I don't think they were actually in the corner. That they hadn't, you know.
It's not a dead end, but it's kind
Right.
of maybe he's in the way. Like maybe he jumps in their path or something. That's how I interpret that. But so either way, I don't think it was to the point of, oh no, he has to physically defend you now or else. I
Right.
don't think it was to that
Even
extent yet.
so, so for example, maybe he is able to defend himself, but what if the mugger, I guess, what do you want to call it,
Yeah.
he lunges at OP, for example,
Right.
and yeah, I don't know. That to me is just a fairly straightforward situation.
I mean,
It's not worth it.
the only time I would condone this action and just say, "OP, you know what? You just sit your pretty self in a corner and watch the hero take action as if your boyfriend was the Hulk or something, or Superman incarnate, you know?" But otherwise, I okay, can I be honest? I think it's a little cringy. Like beyond the heroics and theatrics, if he was trying to look cool in front of her, impress her, this was just not the way. If anything, it comes off very cringy. Like if we're walking on a day, honey, and you start going to the spiel towards the mugger, robber, whoever you want to call this, and you say, "Stop, this isn't you. I can change you," or something like that to the mugger, I would just like, "Are you okay? Do you have food poisoning from dinner? Like, what's going on? This is it, let's just run. This is not it." So let's see what some of the comments say. First comment, not the butt face. I have to get used to that. I'm so used to saying not the a hole that not the butt face, like NTB is the acronym. It's throwing me off. Tell effing Justice League over there that life isn't a movie and that anyone who fights someone who has a knife are guaranteed 100% going to get cut regardless if he trains Krav Maga or how many Marvel movies he's seen. Opie says, I told him 100 times that a fist wouldn't win against a knife, but he won't hear it. I don't understand how the people in his life encourage this. He could have died. Oh, see, I wonder, maybe Opie, okay, assuming Opie's boyfriend practices some sort of martial arts, right? Even then, maybe he's surrounded by people in his family, especially his mom, who thinks, my baby boy can handle himself. He does Krav Maga. He's like the next, what's a famous fighter? Like Conor McGregor or something. He's the next Conor McGregor. He can take them on. Like maybe they're all delusional, a little, all a little wonky. Another comment, send him back to his mother's to sulk there because that's what he's doing, sulking. He's insisted on going on a walk in a bad neighborhood at night, knowing the chance of something bad happening were high. He put you at risk. His response is childish and pathetic. Wait. See, my conspiracy brain is working. What if? What if? Because you're telling me what kind of normal guy is going to take his girlfriend out on a walk in a bad neighborhood at night for no reason? And then he's like trying to stop the mugger. What if he hired the mugger? What if the whole thing was planned so that he can have his whole theatrical, like, babe, wait, I'll save you. Don't worry. I got this. And then, like, pretend to save her from the so called mugger that he hired. Hmm.
That would be wild.
But it wouldn't be the most wild thing we've heard. I believe it.
Uh,
I mean, okay.
if this was a like TV series or some drama, then yeah, I guess I can see that. But um, uh,
Well, tell me this. Not to like discount credit to people of our generation who are taking walks, but who randomly wants to take a walk out in the evening, especially if you live in a bad neighborhood? Who's doing that?
there are people that do that.
No,
I see
except
people
old
outside
people.
all the
Who
time.
does that? Old people, maybe. Like old people, old elderly cute couple taking a walk in the evening, feeling the breeze, fine. But
I see plenty of people walking around.
are you out at night? That I don't know about. How are you seeing these people? We're inside watching
I'm
TV.
not, but
Bring me.
I see it.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I have my doubts here. There is actually an update to the story. I don't know what the update could be other than, hey, OP's boyfriend actually hired, like, falsified this whole thing, like, came up with this himself. Or if there's an actual mugger and, like, OP dumps the boyfriend. I don't know. But there is an update. Let's see. So he called me last night and I answered. He asked if I was okay and how I was doing. Then he asked if he could come over and I said he could. I plan on bringing everything up again myself because he had been very passive aggressive and refusing to talk about it. But when he showed up, he immediately started apologizing. Everything you guys pointed out, he started agreeing with. He was saying that he was being delusional, unrealistic, the whole hero fantasy isn't healthy, he jeopardized my safety, and that wasn't okay, etc.
Did he
I
read the thread?
Oh, maybe because this 180 is a little suspicious. A little sus. OP says, I wasn't prepared for this behavior, especially compared to how he'd been acting all week. So he's been acting like this all week and suddenly is going on the apology tour. Okay. Okay. OP says, we talked for hours before we went to bed together and everything seemed like it worked out fine. I was really on the verge of ending things, so it was a relief I didn't have to in that moment. Then this morning came and hit the fan. In my comment update on the last post, I mentioned that a friend was trying to mediate. I texted that friend that things worked out and they said something along the lines of, I'm so glad you were able to apologize. Some people mentioned that maybe he told a different story, which isn't something I looked into, but I decided to ask and woo boy, I'm glad I did. Firstly, he told everyone that the night walk was my idea. Then apparently we were never mugged. Nope. I just started talking shit to a stranger on the street in an attempt to make him show that he was a strong man and protect me. And the only reason we were able to get away was because he de-escalated the situation and that it was emasculating because he was put in a position where he felt like he was forced to fight for my honor. Are you effing kidding me? To make a long story short, he tried to play dumb and backpedal this morning when I confronted him about it. And then when I pressed him to be honest, he snapped again and said, what was I supposed to say? The whole situation was embarrassing and it was going to make me look bad. We argued again for a bit, but I was just done. I told him to go and that it wasn't going to work. He didn't have much stuff, so it was easy to put it in a spare grocery bag and just toss at him while he angrily left. He's currently outside of my complex waiting for mommy to pick him up. As far as I'm concerned, I dodged a bullet. F his friends, F his mom, and F him. Thank you for opening my eyes, Reddit.
Oh wow.
Okay, I have to say I didn't see that one coming. I feel like that's the most realistic outcome, but I didn't predict that one. In a way, I feel a little bit relieved that his friends and his mom wasn't just coming at OP based on the truth of what we know, which is he was trying to play hero in a mugging. Hello? But are you kidding me? That that is that's a valley of red flags. I'm so glad OP that you dumped him because I would have said, here comes the breakup. Here comes the gavel if that were the case. Like and you didn't break up with him. So not only did he lie about the situation, he went as far back in the timeline to discredit you by saying that the night walk was your idea. So he couldn't he was too I don't know, too much of a coward to even take credit for the night walk. Oh,
To me, what's strange is that okay, if you are embarrassed, why would you even put it out there then? Keep it to
right? Why
yourself, right?
complain about it?
Right.
Why are you going around complaining? It's because he felt unjustified. Unjust. He felt like he needed to get the people on his side. So much for his hero fantasy. He's literally the villain. The villain of OP's life and the villain of the story. The fact that he not only painted OP as a careless person who wants to take a night walk in a dangerous neighborhood in the evening or nighttime, but also that she randomly provoked a stranger so that he could play hero and prove himself. This is the type of person where he'll come up with some sort of terrible idea. You'll try to talk him out of it. He'll insist that he's in the right, as always. And then when consequences happen, he's going to backpedal and say, see, I didn't do that. Why did you do that? I told you not to do that. Come on. Like, I was the one trying to stop her from doing all of this. Oh, I'm getting such a massive ick. Disgusting. Yes, indeed. Boyfriend is the butt face. It's still weird saying that. I don't know which one's worse, saying someone's an a-hole or someone's a butt face, but this one has character. I would say air it out, OP. Air out the truth. Make sure you send like a little text to like friends and mom. I don't know. I think it's a little petty, but that's what I would do. Now, next story is from the subreddit, Am I Overreacting? You guys thought the first one was a wonky one? Okay, get this dating story. OP says he's been pursuing me, then sent me a spreadsheet asking to be reimbursed for our dates. Am I overreacting? See, I think there are levels to, what do you want to call this? There are levels to nuttiness and ridiculous behavior, and I think this is up there. Because someone taking the time to send you a spreadsheet, that they put an effort. They open that file, like think about it. They pushed the power button, opened up a file, set up a whole Excel table, right? Because what psycho just types in Excel without and sends it off without categorizing it or something, or at least putting some sort of, some lines, a chart, something in it, right? So let's see. OP says, "Hi everyone, I, 23-year-old female, have been dating this guy, 32-year-old male, for a little over a month now. He was very persistent in pursuing me, constantly texting, making plans, asking me to go on runs, bike rides, and beach days. We live in Florida, and inviting me to dinner, bars, and even paying for Ubers to and from his place. We were hanging out at least 4 times a week. Everything felt like it was going somewhere. He'd been slowly building things up and even waited weeks to finally kiss me. Then, out of nowhere, he sends me a literal Excel spreadsheet with a breakdown of dates, how much he spent, and a column with my name, asking me to reimburse him. I'm attaching it because I truly cannot believe it. It felt transactional and weirdly formal, especially since he was the one initiating nearly all the plans. What's an even more confusing thing is after sending this, he still insists on seeing me and continuing to date. Like, you want to invoice me and kiss me? And for context, I've picked up the tab quite a few times, dinner, drinks, etc., without making a thing of it. I've never asked him to pay me back or keep score. I thought we were just getting to know each other and splitting things organically at like adults, especially since he's about 10 years older than I am. So, am I overreacting or underreacting? I can't tell if this is just him being organized or if it's a huge red flag. Mayday, mayday, drop the anchor, leave. Girl, this is beyond a red flag. He is his own red island, okay? Um okay, so we do have an image of the spreadsheet. I love it when OPs bring proof and bring evidence and just share a little bit more insight of what they see. So, he did send a message. I'll read the text in a little bit. But on the spreadsheet, it's like a little Excel table, and he has it by date from June 28th all the way to, he does not organize it by date. It's just, individual items with dates on it. So we have cigarettes on June 28th, cost $12.08. Cheekies for June 30th. I don't know what Cheekies are. Is that a restaurant? Is that a brand? What is that? Maybe restaurant?
Sounds like underwear.
It does smell like underwear. Did he buy underwear and invoice you? I would die. Colony Grill for $76. Google for $9.99. Excuse me? What is he invoicing you for? Who invoices someone else for Google? Like a Google Pay? Like, what is this? Mandarin Hyde, Cigar Paradise, Movie Ticks. That's exactly how you spell it. Movie Ticks. I'm slightly judging. Movie Ticks for $53.78. Wait,
Those
where?
are expensive tickets.
What are you going to watch? This is like, I don't know, like I haven't been to movies in a while. 3D IMAX. Do they still have that? But he splits it. Okay, so all the costs I told you were the total cost, and then he splits it into some allocated portion for OPs. So OP's portion is $17.93 for her movie tickets, $30.10 for some Stellas, more cigars and more cigars, a lot of drinks. So I think some of these are like names of drinks because I see it Saigon Blonde. I think that's a drink or beer or something for $20. Anyways, there's a row of at least 20 items on this Excel list with literally rows of total cost and then OP's portion of it. And then the text reads, "Hate to ask, but can ya Venmo or Zelle me some money for the last few weeks? I know you got me some stuff, which I'm appreciative of, and definitely happy to cover most things like our date night and drinks and stuff. But you never paid me for the first round of stuff from a few weeks ago, and money's a little tight for me and a source of stress right now with working 2 jobs, etc." I'm dying. Why? Okay, I read with the yas. I'm sorry if that annoyed you guys, but that's how it's written. I'm just reading it like that. But I like how he phrases, "Hate to ask, but hey, so here's a spreadsheet. Can you Venmo me all of this stuff? You never paid me for any of this. Money's tight. I'm working 2 jobs. Like, sir, slow down. Slow down." The audacity. Okay. I'm not saying this from the perspective of the gentleman always pays. No. But if he's offering and initiating the dates, I think maybe I'm old school. The assumption is that whoever's initiating it generally should make a gesture, or if they're offering to pay, they offer to pay. But beyond that, he's never made mention of wanting the money back or that this is a split money situation. And to do this so all these dates are over several weeks, right? Like at least 2+ weeks. You're telling me for 2+ weeks, he never brought it up and he's waited till this moment to invoice OP? That's wild. Also, I'll say another red flag. For a 32-year-old man who's going on a date, he seems to lack a lot of etiquette and needs to be a little bit more grown up himself about how he's approaching this. This is absurd. You don't expense all these things. Like you don't spend all this money on someone or like take them out or agree to go on a date and all of these things. Offer to pay, and then wait 2 weeks to secretly build up a whole like receipt to send them after. That is wild. And might I add, if you're working 2 jobs and money's tight, maybe you should work on yourself and not go on dates you can't afford. I'm just saying, if you're too broke, then maybe you shouldn't be dating. Sorry. Or maybe go on free dates only if that's your case, or make it very clear that you're not or you can't afford to pay for the whole thing or something like that. Very easy. Oh, but you are not overreacting. If anything, I think you are semi underreacting. I would refuse to pay, to be honest. I would just flat out say, hey, so this wasn't discussed. I wasn't aware that you were going to backtrack and invoice me. But if money's tight, okay, I understand. It was nice getting to know you. Bye. That's what I would say. I mean, I would just bow out of the situation. What? You're making a face. Why?
I'm not necessarily making a face, but I'm looking, like besides the whole spreadsheet and that is just too much, right?
That's overboard. That's
Right. And,
wild.
and I kind of agree somewhat with the notion of, let's say you ask someone out and you're gonna probably be covering
Like, I
the
feel like
the
it's kind
date
of
or something like,
implied.
or at least to
Yeah.
some extent. Now, how does one make it, I guess, in a sense fair if, let's say, one person, let's say even one person invites you, or that's the
Mhm.
second date, and you got invited to a
Mhm.
date once again, and the other person is basically not really paying or covering
Like, they're
anything.
not offering
Yeah,
anything
they're not
ever.
offering. How does one deal with that? Do you ask to say, do you want to split it, or how does that one approach it? I guess during the dates.
I feel like it's one of those situations where if the person invited them again, like, I think if you were in the invitee, like, if you were invited, right, and this is the second date or, like, multiple instances where this person keeps covering, I think you should, like, offer to pay in return. Like, even if they invited you, it's been so many times that I personally would feel some sort of way. Like, I don't wanna feel indebted. Like, not that there's, like, a debt, but it's just, like, a nice way to return the favor. And if I'm enjoying their company so much, why not return the favor? I would offer to say, "Hey, I'd like to cover, like, this time that we're going out." Now, where it becomes weird is if you guys both mutually agree and it's just, like, the other person never, like, initiates. They just say yes, but they never want to split or pay, then I think OP can like or OP's date here can offer like to should kind of have a conversation and set up that expectation. Because you can't just kind of operate on assumptions. Because at some point, if the person's not taking the hint or they're not offering, that's kind of weird. But OP did say that on occasion they switch back and forth. So OP's paying as well. But she's never made the
Well, the real,
option to
I
like,
guess the part, also the question is, how many times was that? Was it just once or twice?
but do you count it? You know what I mean? Like, do you then start counting it? Then it gets weird.
Yes, but at this point in today's world, you also hear all these stories where people are using dates just a way to get for
That's
free
true. I
dinner,
mean,
or
that's
multiple
messed
dates
up
just to get
too.
free dinner or whatever. So I don't know. In that sense, also just kind of picking a little bit at the OP's story, and she mentioned that the guy is older. Like,
Yeah,
I
he's a
get it.
lot
You
older.
you might assume, okay, well, they're older. Well, they should be more financially secure. But I mean, you shouldn't necessarily make that assumption. Just because someone's older doesn't mean that they're in a better financial
No, but
situation.
he should be more like not maybe not necessarily financially secure. I mean, the hope would be that he is, but he should be more mature about the situation. I think he approached it very maturely. That's the problem.
in that sense, yeah, I agree. But I guess the way I interpreted that one was that since he was older, he would OP assumed that he would be covering the costs in some
No,
sense.
because OP did mention, like, things were fine, but blah, 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 blah. For context, like, OP does mention they picked up the tab quite a few times. Now, and she's never asked him to pay him back because she just assumed it was kind of like they're just going to
Right.
take turns, I guess. But taking it with a grain of salt, for all we know, what if he's covering like full steak dinners as an example, and she's just covering like, a little ice cream afterwards, a little
See,
dessert,
see,
a little something
see, I
sweet.
would want to see that list again because I heard a lot of like alcohol and
It's
tobacco
mostly
stuff,
alcohol
which
and
is
cigars,
which is weird.
which is like, I mean, if that's, if these are the dates that you guys are into, cool, power to you. Sounds a little bit odd, but legit, the list is full of Ubers, Cheekies, Katiki, Sigs. I swear I'm not like making the names up. They sound like they're made up though. I am inclined to think that these are drinks. Like maybe they're going to a bar a lot and those for their dates,
Right.
which is all good. I think after the first 2 dates or 3 dates, if it is an issue of who's paying, the date, like the guy here should have brought it up.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
barring like not an age thing,
Yeah.
just the guy should have brought it up.
It doesn't make sense to
But he
bring
waited 2 plus
yeah
weeks.
to like invoice someone afterwards after like such a long time. I think you just want to discuss that and get it out of the way. At the same time, like I guess I just have a different take on it. That if someone was even asking me to, I guess, a date, I would offer to pay at least my share at minimum.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
wouldn't
I
feel
think usually that's a status quo. But if he's been offering, which it seems like he's been offering to pay, just to be blunt, like, how many times do you play the game of pushing their seat back and forth? If he's adamant, if he is, no, 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 I got it. No, no, no.
right, right,
Because I wonder, I'm like, she has paid several times as well, but is he insisting on paying and now he's backtracking because he has no
right.
money? I don't know.
Or is it more of those situations? Well, we went on the date and time to pay, and you kind of just
We don't know.
awkward type of silence. Well, I'm just gonna pay, but
We don't know. But
yeah,
from what we do, I guess from OP's perspective here, I'm inclined to be on OP's side because like asking for a Venmo or Zelle for the last few weeks, that already I'm suspicious of the date and their intentions. Cuz that's just weird. Like why would you do
yeah,
that?
yeah. The whole spreadsheet is kind of
That's bizarre.
um,
Now, OP does include a little snippet of their continued text message. All right. So after the date asks for the Venmo Zelle, OP says, sure. Date says, okay, I think $100 is fair unless you have any objections. OP says, are you charging me for in between days? The date says, I'm charging you $100 for the $500 of stuff I've covered since we've started hanging. You never paid me the last time I asked for some money. OP says, all right, maybe we shouldn't go out as much. And then Date says, LOL, I can't tell if your butt hurt. I'm asking for $100. Apparently, some time passes. OP sends over the money. She goes, did you get my Venmo? Date says, I did. Thank you very much. Coincidentally, someone, their name's blurred out, but a friend that they know, texted me saying that he was owed money too. I paid him the $90 you owed him from a while back. I was hoping you could reimburse me for that eventually. OP says, oh, sure, sending right now. And then Date just continues the conversation like normal. Like, I appreciate it very much. Start asking about her day. So, knowing this context, I'm a little sus with this one aspect, which is OP seems like already like to send the money. Once he asked, like she didn't really put a fight. She just she found it weird. She posted the story on Reddit, but she did send the Date all the money. But then Date kind of brings up how, like maybe they went out with a group or something. So a friend asked, for her to send her share. So she sent it to him. My question is he, because at this point, I don't know that he's the most trustworthy guy. Is he going to actually send the money to the friend or is he going to pocket it? Because is there a way for OP to check? I don't know.
right.
So far, my verdict is OP, I don't think you're overreacting. I think it's a red flag. It's a sign of things to come, right? Because it boils down, it's not even just about money. It's more about the principle, right? Is he going to be doing things for you and then expecting it as like a something in return. Like, is this a transaction? I think you nailed it. You nailed on the head. That's not right. You hit the nail on the head. You hit the nail on the head. It feels like he expects a give and take when he's giving all the time, even though he doesn't make it clear and you guys don't even talk about it. There's no discussion. He automatically assumes there's some sort of like give back. I would rethink my relationship with this guy because it's just weird. It's sus behavior. I don't know. I would also, if you can, ping the friend to make sure he got the money that you paid back, just as a check, just to make sure. What advice would you give, OP?
Well, first of all, I guess I would just say that that guy is definitely a red flag.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm also suspicious about the OP.
Right?
The
Devil's
OP
advocate.
doesn't seem like the
Mhm.
person that. Oh, they went out as a group, I guess.
Mhm.
Like once the event or whatever group activity is done, I would be proactive myself to make sure I pay
Yeah.
back the people I cover. Like I would not feel okay with just kind of, let's forget about it. And I know that a lot of people kind of
A
do
lot of
that,
people do that though.
where someone covers the group event and then
They don't say
when it's time to
anything.
pay, everyone's gone. Like everyone's silent. No one
It's
is.
weird.
So, like, and it OP kind of seems like the type of person because they didn't bother. It was like what $90 for something, and they didn't
Yeah.
bother.
Reaching out.
Right,
So kind of calling out you, OP. Why
right,
weren't you proactive?
right.
You,
So,
for all we know, right?
right. So
Mm.
that's why I'm like, something is also not right from the OP's perspective,
OP's
and
dating this guy. That already is not right.
I mean, you could say that.
Already questionable judgment as we speak. And the fact that all their date expenses are literally, it's just cigarettes and drinks. Like, do you guys have like meals together? I'm starting to question the dates. Like, are they dates or are they friendly hangouts?
I mean, I would just also like to add that I agree. Not everything has to be transactional. Like you must pay
Yeah.
exactly.
But
But at the same time, it is kind of give and take that if one person covers,
to some level,
the
yeah.
other person also should kind
I
of
think
cover
it's
because
like courtesy.
you and you're also gonna naturally sense that. Well, I'm kind of being taken advantage of here. I'm like
Yeah.
covering most of the things, and the other person is not.
I'm still not standing by his Excel
Right.
sheet
Well,
situation.
yeah,
Like, you speak up
absolutely.
earlier. You don't wait 2
Yeah,
plus weeks.
absolutely.
All right. Our next story and our last story for the episode is from the subreddit Am I the A-hole? Am I the a-hole for asking my girlfriend to stop singing in the car? Hi, Reddit. I, female 20 years old, have been dating my girlfriend, let's call her Angie, female 21 years old, for about 9 months now, and I genuinely adore her. She's kind, smart, funny, and just overall a wonderful person. I really do feel lucky to have her in my life. That said, she loves to sing, like all the time, but especially in the car. And to be clear, she's incredibly talented. She's in choir throughout school, she's a musical theater major, and she truly has an amazing voice. Most of the time, I love hearing her sing and perform. It's something I admire about her because God knows I can't hold a tune to save my life. However, when we're driving together, it honestly gets on my nerves. I don't mean every now and then, it's constant. For example, the other night we were driving home from a mutual friend's place. I put on some music in the background and started talking, asking her about her day. As soon as there was a lull in the conversation, she turned the music up and started singing. I let it go for a song or two, but then turned it back down and tried to resume the conversation. She gave me a one-word answer, turned it up, and went right back to singing. This kind of thing happens all the time. I try not to be overly sensitive about it, but it makes me feel like she's not interested in talking to me. I brought it up a couple of times, but she usually brushes it off and tells me that it just passes the time, which it does for her. Meanwhile, I'm driving next to her, what feels like a brick wall. Sometimes I try to sing along, but she'll say something like, "It's not a duet," in a joking way, but I know she means it. I really do love her, and I don't want to make her feel like she can't be herself around me. But I also don't want to feel ignored every time we're in the car together. So, am I the hole for wanting her to dial it back a bit in the car? Oh my gosh. I'm holding back my laugh a little bit. Okay. OP, I was so ready to just say, like, just, I don't want to say gentle parent this, but have a genuine conversation. Don't let her brush you off and just say, oh, no, no, it's just, passes the time. No, like, sit down and have a real conversation. Push for that conversation to be had and say, look, it's kind of sucks that you keep ignoring me and just singing and blasting music the whole time when I want to talk to you. It's annoying. And make it known. And emphasize that it's an issue. It's not just like I hate that when you do that. And let it go. I feel like you're letting it go too much.
Is it even about the music?
The other thing I was gonna say is maybe you are but a mere background NPC to her main character musical moment. Okay? Because what got me is you're telling me when you try to join in, that's cute, it's wholesome moment. She goes, it's not a duet. And then keeps on singing. That is savage. Who does that? Like, I'm getting Sharpay Evans vibes, and you're like the little backup singer, okay, who's not even allowed to sing. That is rough. I don't know. I would feel kind of butthurt. I would feel a little bit hurt if, Emma's singing, he's blasting K-pop Demon Hunter soundtrack, and he's, singing it out, and all of a sudden I join and he goes, shh, not you. It's me time. I would feel some sort of way. OP, you are better than I. I would kind of lose it a little bit. I would probably go ham and say, excuse me? And cut the music. Cut the music immediately and just have a conversation. But that's just me.
I might be over analyzing this, but it seems that OP has a problem with just kind of being ignored by her partner.
I kind of
In a
agree
sense,
with
or
you.
not taking it seriously during conversations.
Mhm.
Because if you give one word answer and then continue on doing whatever, it seems like you're being ignored. And that's the core issue, not the
Yeah, I think the
singing
singing is
music.
just a side part.
Right.
But man, that comment stings. Like, this is not a duet. Just gets me. It almost makes me wonder, does your girlfriend not like you? Point blank. Because the fundamental part of a relationship is someone you talk to and you have this connection with, right? If you don't talk to them, then what is your relationship about? Like, what do you do in the relationship? That's my curiosity, right? I get it if she's, oh, this is my song. I want to sing this one song. That's fine. One song, two song, maybe. But then the whole entire car ride, you're telling me you can't hold a conversation for the entire car ride? When someone wants to have a conversation with you and when someone wants to speak with you, that tells me one, you're either uninterested in anything they want to say, or two, you don't like the person.
Well,
Or maybe you're just that self-absorbed. I'm sorry, I have to say it. Maybe you care about your diva moment and nothing else.
right, it could be that, but at the same time, you also never know. Maybe the other person needs some, I don't want to say alone time or just
This
off
is not
time.
alone time. They're blasting music and having
All right. Well, maybe they just want to be entertained and not talk or something. I don't know. That's well. How often do they talk and how often do they
sing.
have conversations? I guess because after some time, like maybe they have different, I guess, needs in that sense. That one person wants to talk all the time and the other person wants to, I
Well,
want to be quiet for a little bit.
OP started this out with saying she sings all the freaking time. Which one is it? Is it that maybe OP is a yapper? They like talking all the time and their partner just wants some peace and quiet. But if you want peace and quiet, why are you singing and blasting music? So I don't know about that. On the other side, what if your girlfriend is just mega singer, she's a diva, she's having her moment, but she's neglecting you just because she'd rather sing than listen to you? To be honest, there are some relationships like that. I don't know. Which one is it? It's hard to tell. My gut feeling is I think girlfriend's kind of being a bratty diva. I'm sorry, being a little singing diva.
I'm not sure. I would probably want to hear more, but I guess I don't think
There
there's
is no
more.
more.
Yeah, there's no
What
more.
do you mean hear more?
I
There
don't
is no
know.
more.
Yeah, at this point, I have no idea.
I guess I don't think Opie's an a-hole for wanting the girlfriend to dial it back a little bit to just be, be a little bit serious. Can you take me seriously and not neglect me? Because I think that's a fundamental ask. I don't think it's too much to ask for. Can we actually talk and not have you sing every single time we're trying to talk? Thanks. Also, what is it? This can be a form of torture. Okay, walk with me here. I think it's a form of torture if you're singing nonstop to someone in a car and you're not letting them participate, nor are you letting them have a conversation with you. I feel like this is one of those, I know the word for it, captive audience. Are you your girlfriend's captive prisoner and audience? Is this your call for help, OP? Let me know. Because isn't it kind of rude too? If someone is just like, "Hey, can you dial it back?" and you just start blasting the music louder and sing over them?
Well, did OP actually ask, or
Well, OP says, yeah, there's a moment where OP says, as soon as there's a lone conversation, she turns the music up, starts singing. I let it go for a song or two, but then turn it back down and try to resume conversation where she gave me one word answers and then started singing again.
oh, okay.
So OP tried and then
So
she
well,
went, mm-hmm.
it's one of those
Turn it
things
over.
where like, why don't you just talk? Not.
Well, that's what OP's trying to do, except her girlfriend keeps singing her, singing over her.
I mean, it's one of those situations where you kind of have to maybe be blunt about it.
How can you be more blunt than, hey, can we talk? No.
Well,
Start singing.
OP never actually said that. She just turned down the music and
And tried to talk.
right, which some people might not interpret it.
See, but I'm annoyed because I feel like you shouldn't be babying your partner. I feel like at some point that's kind of like, are the standards so low that you have to freaking like be so serious about even wanting to be heard in a relationship? That's my problem. This might seem overboard. I'm dropping the hammer quick. Break up. Break up. She's not the one for you. She's too diva for you. Break up. You know, I support the divas. Like sing your heart out, queen, but don't ignore your partner. Like that's kind of rough. I will feel some sort of way. Cuz I do wait, car karaoke. Wait, am I outing myself? Do you feel like a captive audience when I sing in the car?
No, I don't think
There's too
you.
much of a pause there. There's
Well,
too
I had
much.
to think about it, but I don't think you sing that much louder than the song. So
So it's a volume thing. I'll make sure to turn it up next time, honey. Don't you worry about that.
no, no, no. Keep it around the same level.
No, but then
That's
you
your
can't hear
voice.
me above the background audio.
Say, why do I need to hear you?
What do you mean? Why do you need to hear me? You should
I'm
be
just kidding.
wanting to listen to me.
I'm just kidding.
All right, next time you're trying to join in, I'm going to say, this is not a duet, okay? This is a solo. This is not a
Yes,
duet.
and you're not the driver. In that case, my rules.
That's why you're not singing. If you're driving, you shouldn't be singing. Anyways, it's all fun and games, guys. I want to say what the comments say about this one. I am hoping that I'm not the only one who's like pitchfork out about this. I feel bad for OP. First comment. In response to sometimes I sing along, but she'll say something like it's not a duet. This here makes you not the a 100%. She isn't singing to have fun or bring joy to the world. She just loves to hear her own voice and wants a captive audience. That's not cool. I called it. I called it. That right there took the words right out of my mouth. 14,000 people upvoted that comment. The people have spoken. Okay, the people have spoken. More people commented in response to this. Wow, okay, based on the title, I was ready to condemn you for hating Joy, but she just became the a-hole in a major way. Is she like this about other stuff? I love to sing in the car and get sad anytime someone starts singing with me, then stops again. Makes me feel like I threw them off key, not the a-hole. Dang. Okay, you guys have me overthinking the next time I sing in the car now. That is awkward. Imagine you're like having fun, you're singing, or someone else is singing, and then you join along, they just stop. I feel like that's like, it's not worse than someone telling you, hey, this is not a duet. Well, actually, maybe it is. Because then I feel like, was I that bad? I made you like, I killed your mood to like sing. Was it that bad? I like the energy in the comments here we have today. Everyone is saying not they all, and that's what the verdict is on the story. I agree. The court of the people and of Honey Hearts has spoken. Those are our thoughts on the situation. Maybe you guys agree. Maybe you guys disagree. Let me know in the comments. I want to hear what you think about it. What advice you would give to the OPs. And if you want to submit a story for me to read, submit it to our Reddit. It's linked in the description below to the Honey Hearts podcast subreddit. And as usual, don't forget to like and subscribe, guys. Although if you're tuning from Spotify, hello. And don't forget to rate this podcast 5 stars. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.